I'm just going to let social media catch up a minute. Evening all. I can see a few of you have just come on. Evening all. Lee Ashby here, Motocross and Spear Memories. Hope you're all good. My guest should be with me soon. I'm just going to do my thank yous while I'm waiting for him. Just literally messaged him. On the other stuff, I've got 37 tickets gone. You could see the Tommy Searle shirt behind me here. I've got 37 tickets of that gone. It's going to be a maximum of 100. And obviously that's a signed jersey. We're doing a deal on that as well. £15 for a number and 25 for two. If you want any numbers on that, let me know. I've only got 6 spots left for our Motocross and Speedway Memories BSNA reunion. 2 in the Super Evo class and 4 in the 250-500 class. Evening. Hello, James. How's it going? I'm not sure who that is, but I'll try and have a look in a minute. You know what? I don't know who that is. You haven't registered, but hello, whoever that is. Right, I'll just get my thank yous out of the way, and then I'll get my guest on. He should be on in a minute. He's just said 5 minutes to me just a minute ago when I messaged him. Big thanks for the support to Simon Pardo of White Eagle Finance. They give quality financial advice for pensions, mortgages, and investments and protection. Check out his website at www.whiteeaglefinance.co.uk. You can also quote myself or Motocross and Spear Memories and get free advice off of Simon. So check that one out. Big thanks to the MX legend Stefan Everts with his S72 Gin and Vodka brand. Check out his website on www.s72gin.com. Big thanks to Lee Owen of Owen Developments. They specialise in supplying turbochargers to a global customer base, covering motorsport performance and aftermarket OEM sectors. Check out his shop site on www.owenturbos.com, or his other website is www.owendevelopments.co.uk. Big thanks to Terry Smith Painting and Decorating from Swindon for his support as well. And also big thanks to Craig Triplett of Jardine Conservatories. You can check them guys out on www.jardineintalford.co.uk. Also the proud sponsors of Speedway rider Mr. Luke Becker. Thank you very much for them, guys. I will get into my other interviews as well. I've got a Speedway, pretty cool Speedway one this Thursday night, the 10th of June, 7 p.m. UK time, with Sudden Sam Malenko, former world champion, 1993, I think it was. Also, pretty of a legend, proper legend. How's it going, Adam Pryor? How's it going, buddy? What's up, Lee? Been interesting to know if he got free Pepsi during his free holidays. Yeah, so we'll have to ask him that, Ben. Make sure you have. Hello, friend. I'm not sure who that is. And someone's put Lee. Another top entry by Lee Ashby. Not sure who's wrote that. Good banter there. I might try and go on my Facebook to see if I can actually see who they are, who these people are commenting that's not registered their names. I think I've got them too, so that's cool. I have my guest on in a second. He's just literally said to me for 5 minutes. Who wrote that? Oh, it was Kevin. It was Kevin that wrote that. And Oriole as well. Hello, Oriole. How's it? I hope I pronounced that right. Hello, Mr. Peter Jeffrey. How's it going, buddy? Did you get the pics of Manetti proper? Yes, I did, mate. And I've downloaded them to show him as well. So thanks for that. I appreciate that. I hope you're well, buddy. I see that you went to Canada Heights Sunday. I didn't actually go to that. Yes, Daryl. Sam Malenko should be this Thursday night, 7 p.m. So I will check in with Sam probably tomorrow just to make sure everything's all okay with him for Thursday. And then after that, the next one I got booked in is on the 14th, Monday the 14th, so a week tonight, with Mikael Max as well, another Wolverhampton Wolves legend and another Swedish super speedway legend. How's it going, Scott? Scott Bowman, how's it going, buddy? Why does that not come up on my screen? Not sure why. Not come up on my screen. So I'm just waiting for my guest to come on. He just said to me 5 minutes he'll be on, just a minute ago when I spoke to him. So Hopefully he'll be on in a minute. Like I said, there's only 6 spots left in our Motocross and Speedway Memories BSMA reunion, but it's open to all. So there's only two spots left in a Super Evo 125, which is basically 1990 to 97, I believe, is the right years on the bikes, and 4 spots left in the 250/500cc Super Evo class as well. Same thing, 1990 to 97. I didn't, mate. What shirt was that? Have you sent me something? Maybe I should look. Right, hopefully Bader will be on in a minute. I just spoke to, he's just come on Facebook. I just spoke to him now. There we go. I was just going on the Facebook basically, so I can see if there's anyone that hasn't registered their name, I can still see their name. And that was Mark Gibson that gave me the fist. How's it going, buddy? Mark Gibson, how's it going, buddy? I like the picture you sent me saying I'm with your mate, Stefan. That was at Ling, wasn't it? Oh, Tommy, you got a Tommy Searle shirt. Oh, right, I see. So that's the one we got going for the competition at the moment, the Tommy Searle Shine shirt. Oh. There you go. He signed it on the back there, on the 1 of the 100. So you can get at me. Bit of a stretch there. Hello, Simon Howes. How's it going? Evening, buddy. Just waiting for my guest to come on now. Yes, I did speak. I have spoken to Tommy Ben, and he said we'll hopefully sort it soon with him. So I have spoken to Tommy. Said to him it'd be nice to speak to him as well while I've got the shirt competition going on as well. Some of you might have seen him write online saying, "Is he getting a cut?" That was pretty cool. That was pretty funny. See the tan line? Check that out. Nice line there across the forehead. You know, guess what that's from? Look. When a White Way Barton, what was that, 2 weeks ago? A week ago? Got a load of sunburn going on, and then see my line across the head from the hat. Awkward. So hopefully he's going to come on now. Just to check, see what he said on his message. Hopefully I can get him on. While I'm just doing that, just check that out on my social medias. Got the Facebook group. For some reason, my Facebook page has been deleted. Thanks very much for that to Facebook. Haywire. But my group, my website, it's all on here anyway. And if you didn't see this, I did speak to Bader Manneh before, and did a written one from him nearly a year ago, I'd say probably. But he did kindly do us a nice video as well about our motocross meeting as well, so you can check that out.
Hi y'all, Bader Manneh here. I just wanted to say Lee Ashby and Kevin Wheeler are going to have an MX and Speedway reunion at the White Way Barton track on the 4th and 5th of September. Registration tomorrow, starting tomorrow, Tuesday, after 7 p.m. directly with Lee. Hope you guys can make it. It sounds really interesting, really cool. Take care, all.
Very cool. That was very cool from Bader. I did thank him, very much appreciated him doing that for us. It's really cool. And to all the other guys that did a video for us, it was really cool. Love the hard hats in this weather, yeah. Some of the guys are not supposed to, are they? But they wear them backwards, don't they? Some of the hard hats now. They were on site when I was last on site. Yeah, brilliant video from Bader. We had BSMA legends, Dean Batchelor done us one. Jeff Perrett done us one. It was really cool. Former Patch Quick winner at that end of the woods as well. Who else did me a video? Paul Cooper, four-time British champion Paul Cooper, did a really cool video about our meeting. Oh, Mr. Warren Edwards as well. That was really cool. It's very cool as well to get Warren Edwards on. I'll have to get him on his own as well. That was really cool to get Warren Edwards. If none of you have seen that yet, when I did the live Ricky Johnson interview, I got to bring Mr. Warren Edwards in to talk about the NEC all them years ago with Ricky Johnson. That was quite a cool thing. But I'd like to get Warren Edwards on his own as well. Hopefully he's going to come to the reunion as well. Yes, Christian, how's it going? I'm going to talk to ask Bader about his hole shotting abilities. Yes, mate. Yes, Martin Truman, Tim Truman raced with them guys quite a bit, Simon. So that would be cool if Martin got involved. I know Tim Truman's running Severn Valley BSMA club right now as well. So that's really cool. That's good, mate. Good to see you going well. Hopefully, we're going to get Bader on very soon. Let me just check my messages. Hopefully he's going to be good. He's online, which is a good sign. Let me just check. What's everyone been up to? Everyone's been out riding now, haven't we? It's all good. It's good to have everyone out riding again. Yes, mate. Even just the other weekend when I went to the track, seeing Liddington, Steve Liddington, his dad, John, as well. It was quite funny. His dad come up behind me and he looked at me, he goes, "You don't know who I am, do you?" I said, "Yes, I do." Said Mr. John Liddington. So that was cool to see him as well. Also saw Ben Dyson's dad as well. So that was really cool. A lot of us was all chasing Ben Dyson around on social media. I believe Ben Dyson is now on Facebook, but it was great to see his dad. That was cool. Obviously, I've been seeing Tim Heisman quite a bit anyway. So Tim was there, which was great, with his boy Daniel. See boys, Mr. Masters and Radford and all them guys as well. The South Somerset boys were down there as well. So that was great to see them guys. Ben Vizard as well. That was really cool to speak to all them guys after all these years. It's been, what, 20, 25 years at least since I've seen them guys. Just back from a 5K run, need to get some bike time. Yeah, 100%. So you're putting in the fitness already, Christian. Good stuff. I see you've been doing a lot of running and stuff in the Facebook group that we're in and all that with the Welsh boys and everything. The reunion group in Facebook. A lot of banter goes on in there. That's good, mate. Fair play. Spoke to Vaughan Williams not long ago, and he just sort of got himself a bike just because he's basically I was just going to say, Mr. Airport Autos, Bradley. He's going to sort out Vaughan Williams a bike, proper nice bike for the reunion. So Vaughan wanted to get out on a bike before the reunion as well, so that he could do a bit of race time. But Bradley Briggs is, from Airport Autos, is sorting out Vaughan Williams a bike for the actual meeting, proper factory trick thing. I think it's a Mugen, if I'm right in thinking. But Vaughan needed some bike time, so he's got a bike, temporary bike. So hopefully Vaughan's going to get out and start riding. So that'll be good as well. But yeah, I think we only need. I think we've got one or two sponsors left for groups, if I'm right. Because I think we've got 8 at the moment. And we're hoping still that we can try and sort out a main sponsor for the meeting as well. But maybe like some sort of brand would be really cool. But we're going to see what happens with that. If anyone knows anyone, get in touch. Obviously, we're going to have the program as well, which will be. We're looking to have a mint program, and obviously, as you can imagine, there's going to be a lot of eyes in that program. As we know, there's already 346 riders booked in already. So you can imagine they're all coming with +2, plus family and friends and spectators. There's going to be a lot of eyes in the program, so it's good for advertising as well if anyone wants to advertise in the program. But obviously, all the guys that have sponsored our groups so far will all be in the program. Bradley Briggs from Airport Autos, big thanks to him. Big thanks to former BSMA rider I raced with quite a bit, Mark Fisher, with his Concept CCF UK Limited. Check them guys out as well. They do some amazing stuff with the kitchens and everything. He's going to be, I spoke to Mark. He was happy, just said, get as long as it's got some old BSMA guys in the group, happy to sponsor any group. So that was really cool. Steve Liddington is sponsoring the Legends as well. Excuse me, with his the bathroom Studio Limited. So much appreciated to him. Also, Kevin's mum, Mrs. Wheeler, is going to be sponsoring a group as well in memory of Kevin's dad, Steve Wheeler, for the 250cc stroke 350F 450F modern group. So that's really cool. Terry Heisman, massive thanks to him as well. He's sponsoring a group. That's Tim Heisman's uncle. Great man he is, Terry Heisman. A lot of you guys will remember him as well. He's sponsoring a group for us, much appreciated. Farah Tilia, she's supporting one of the groups as well in memory of her late brother, Cy Higgins, that unfortunately had an accident at the track, preparing the track. So it was great that we could do something in his memory as well. So really appreciate it to her. Also, John Davis, who's going to be doing all the catering for us. He's sponsoring one of the groups. So that's brilliant. And also massive thanks to Jason Atherton of J&N Car Sales. He's sponsoring one of the groups in Ian Street, the former Vale of White Horse chairman. So massively appreciate it, Jason. Thank you very much for getting involved. I think Terry Heisman was sponsoring the Chris Tucker Memorial 125 Super Evo group, who was obviously the former Morden. I think I've got him here. I'll bring you in. I can see you. All good. Thank you. I'll just do bring the video in and then bring you in. I can see my man. He's in. So, right, let's get the video underway and then I'll bring in my guest. Here we go then. Right, let's bring the man in.
Doing there?
Bader, how's it going?
Doing okay, thank you. It's getting nice weather in Italy, but lately, a couple of days, it's been raining, but it's still warm. That's what I like. I like the warm, like California.
It's actually warm here in the UK, Bader.
Yeah, I think it's that global warming stuff. So
yeah, it must be if the UK's warm.
Yeah, even Russia.
How are you? How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. Thanks, Lee. Everything is going underway.
I really appreciate doing that video for us. I really appreciate that doing the video for us for our meeting. It's going very well, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you too. I appreciate you having me here. It's kind of nice time, and I can explain some stuff or maybe get some stuff out. So Thanks for bringing me on.
Top man, appreciate your time. So then, Bader, what have you been up to recently? I believe you part of running a motocross team now. Is that what you're doing now?
Yeah, we just made a little team, nothing major, because you know, I did so many years of racing, so we just said we'll do. You know, I really strung out my career. You know, I started at 13, racing wide open till I was almost 40. So I was just like, it was a long time. Usually everyone retires before time. So I started a team, but just at a low point. Just local racing, some Italian nationals. So we're just doing it, taking it easy, trying to have fun, and that's about it. So to get, if I wanted to do something strong, it's a lot of, it's a big
big project. You know, you got to be there and travel and everything. So that's not really my stuff anymore. But I watch. I follow all the results in Italy, yeah, the World Championships, the American Championships. So I'm always pretty much up to date.
So you're based in Italy, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, based in Brescia, Italy. Really nice place, beautiful, right under the mountains, and then there's a big lake. It's called Lago di Garda, which is kind of like a mini, not a mini, a big Disneyland, because I mean it has like hills and just rocks and tunnels and all kinds of stuff. You can go mountain biking and downhilling, all kinds of stuff around there, surfing and kite surfing and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool.
So so
We
when
good
you actually,
good food.
yeah, when you actually, yeah, I've heard about the good food in Italy. What when you actually retired? What did you actually do when you retired the racing? Then what did you do after that?
Right when I retired, I kind of before I retired, I just transformed into I was with the Italian Federation, educating the kids. I was like an educator for a teacher for the schools, the motocross schools, not only the
All right.
schools, training, kind of a whole program. So I was hired by the Italian Federation to follow all the races of the mini cross races, the World Championship races for all the riders. So I did that for a few years. It went good. I brought up a lot of kids. I was even riding with them, like the small guys. I was riding the 85, the top guys. I mean, the guys that were winning the European Championship races and stuff. I was beating them when I was like 40 years old on the 85. I jump on there because if kids they don't see something, they don't believe in it. And like I said, they would like do a corner. I go, you can go faster than that. You can do that jump. They said, no, you can't do it on an 85 because maybe I had a 450 on that. I said, give me your bike. So I would take the bike, like do the jump or do a corner like 2 seconds faster. And they're just like, oh my gosh, you can't say anything. So once, you
Mm,
see something, so that kind of helped the kids get better because they knew they can really get better, not just somebody saying you can go faster. When they see
mm.
something going faster on their own bike, you know, they can't say anything about that.
I love that.
So
Just
that
imagine you flat out on an 85.
yeah, I was like flat out, man. It was like, ooh. Because it was easy for me because I'm not a big guy, so I was kind of smaller, and
Hmm.
I was training on the 450 and the 250, and then jumping on 85. It was just it was a question of balance because I was being higher, so jumping on the thing I fell off balance. But after like an hour of riding, I was right on there, wide open, and don't you get you tired because they're so light. So I was racing around with the guys, doing motos with the guys on the 85, and it kind of brought up the level because and then they started getting tired of me, tired of getting beat. So I wouldn't beat them all the time, just sometimes. Give them,
You
give
had,
them a
you had to
little
go,
hope.
yeah, give them a bit of a chance, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how did you get into motocross in the first place, then, Bader? How old were you, and what was your sort of first bike? That's sort of
Well,
first
my
memories of
first
it.
bike, what I remember was a YZ80 in
Hmm.
78, 1978. Because I started out just riding bicycles. 'Cause that's what we
Hmm.
did in our area. BMX bikes, just riding all over the place, looking for jumps and playing around. That was the thing.
Hmm.
Kind of like here, that's not the thing. Everyone's now is on the computer. You talk to some guys, they
Hmm.
never, they're 15 years old and never rode a bicycle before. So it's kind
Hmm.
of back then, my area, the thing to do, grab your bicycle, go riding around, friend's house, and all this kind of stuff. So but then I was like riding bicycle, and I just go, man, that would be nice to have a motor under that thing. So that was like the next step. So my family, my dad, he got me a bike. He said, I'll get you a motorcycle, a dirt bike, but you got to promise me never to ride on the street. I said, wow, why don't you ride? He said, because the street is really dangerous, but the dirt bike, that wasn't dangerous for him. So he bought me the dirt bike, and I kept my promise. I said, okay, I won't get a street bike. So and from then on, 78, I was just riding. I would like come home. I liked it so much. So every day after school, I would get home. I was lucky enough to out of the garage. I had some hills and just free tracks out there, just made by the bikes. I would go riding every single day. Come home, siphon the gas out of the tank of my dad's truck, just siphon it out, put a little bit of oil in there, and just go out in the hills, ride for like an hour by myself every day. And I had a friend who was racing, so when I just started riding, I went out there with him, and he was like a lot faster than me. So then I didn't see him for like 3 months, and I was like riding every day, an hour a day. I seen him 3 months later. I was like almost laughing at him. He's going, "Wow, what happened to you?" I said, "Nothing. I'm just riding." He goes, "You should race." I said, "Race?" I said, "There's races." I didn't even know. I was just riding out there having fun. I didn't know who was who or who was riding or nothing. So they took me to the races. Him and another friend of his. They took me to the races. First race, I won. They put me in the beginner class. I crashed like 3 times, but I still won the race by like a half a lap. So they go, "Wait, that's not
Wow.
good. We'll move you up to the intermediate class." So I rode the intermediate class for like 6 months, but I was still good in there. And then I moved right up to the expert class. So it was pretty fast moving through. And just because I rode so much, I liked it so much, everything just came easy.
Mm.
And it went on from there. Then when I got to I think 12 years old. So it was a year of riding. And after I got 14 years old, I got a sponsor from Kawasaki. Then from 14, I never paid a bike anymore, expenses pretty much up until 40 years old. I lived off motocross.
Awesome. Was that sort of the age then, 14, was when you sort of thought to yourself, I could make this as a pro?
Yeah, because I started getting some sponsors, and then it just moved from that. And I was still riding every day, still having fun, and then went from 3 bikes to $2,000 of parts. Back then they used to give you like 3 bikes and 2,000 worth of parts. Then it went 5 bikes, 4,000 parts. Then it went 6 bikes. So every year I started getting better, more parts, expenses paid, and then bonuses. So everything just compounded on that. And I just made a living out of it.
I think the volume's just gone down on your thing. I don't know if you're...
Um,
Oh, that's
do you hear
better.
me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear now. Yeah, it just went
Okay.
down. So what sort of riders did you look up to and idolize when you were young then, Bader? Was there any did you get to see the magazines or any videos
Yeah.
or anything
When
like
I was
that you
young,
started?
young up until like 16, I didn't know other writers really existed. It was
Mm.
just all me. It was like all me and my bike. They're all, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
Bob Hanna." Who's Bob Hanna? That's
Yeah.
Ricky Johnson. I wasn't the guy. I didn't look at magazines or anything. I was just all about riding that bike. I didn't care
Yeah.
what else. I just wanted to ride that bike. Till I got older, I understood. I think when I was like 16, 15, no, 16, I started to know that there was nationals. I knew there was other riders. So it was like later, a lot later, that I knew about all this
Right.
stuff, which I think today it's all different. You're young, you start to
Mm.
know everything, and then you want to ride a bike. So
Mm.
it was like opposite for me
Opposite,
completely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you have have you had a favorite bike throughout your career that you really loved racing?
When I was younger, those Kawasaki's, I was on Team Green. I love those
Yeah.
bikes. Just like
Nice.
when I see a Team Green bike, an old one, it like brings me back in time. So,
Yeah.
the 80 KX85s, and then the like first 125s, and it was just like everything green. That was pretty much my first love. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah.
I love the goggles with no face mask on either. Look, back then.
I actually think that's the helmet I cut. It came for some reason. I seen the open face helmets. I didn't know, so I think someone gave me that helmet. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
this one or another one, and I just chopped it. I cut with a hacksaw the sides and put like a rubber around there, so it was like a make do. And I put a little hole in the top for an air hole, just messing around. So everybody was laughing at me, but it was stuff. It was stuff we did back then. Nothing was.
Bit experimenting.
Yeah, just experimenting and having fun. And I was like jumping off cliffs. It was me and Ricky Johnson were like the first guys just plowing off the cliffs. I was doing it on the 85, and he was doing it on his 250 factory bike. And I think I was the last person to ride after when Ricky Johnson retired because his wrist He couldn't give gas anymore because he had its bone fused together. And I know I was training with him, and he was always hurting. So he had pain, and like he goes, "Hey, let's go to Palm Avenue." And we went to Palm Avenue. I went up like a big cliff, just wide open, and I like ghost rid the bike. I was doing like the Superman in the middle of the air. And I think he quit after that. He goes, I think I had enough.
Yeah. This
He was
is getting
hurting, his wrist
dangerous.
was hurting, and it was like in the middle of the season, and he just kind of like he didn't go to the races after that. And yeah, he was already deciding to quit anyways, but that I think made him think something, see me doing the Superman off, like a 50-foot cliff. So,
Yeah. He's going, oh, maybe these kids are overtaken now. I need to
yeah,
get
these
back
kids
up.
are crazy. That's just the first guy. He goes, I'm out of that now. I'm getting older. My wrist is, he couldn't give throttle anymore, and it would block on him. So if he was like in a supercross race or something and landing, it would like block and just keep the gas wide open. So he was like dangerous.
Yeah, it's not cool. We sort of mentioned that in his interview. It was pretty cool. I got a nice one there of you actually as well.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to get some air there, under my arms, between my legs, get some airflow.
Like a bit of crazy jump there. You like to jump then, Bader?
I did. Once I got older, it was like, my mind was, they say when you get older, your mind controls your throttle. When you're younger, your mind doesn't control your hands. But when you get older, it starts to control your hands. Yeah.
I got Christian Haverall Good here. He put, it was great watching you at Fox Hills. Quite a lot of the pictures I've got of you are at Fox Hills.
I've seen that. That's
probably.
cool.
What did you think of the track there at Fox Hills in England?
Cool. That I thought it was easy. I mean, it looked when I walked the track and went up there, I go, that's easy, but it was a hard track to ride. It wasn't easy. It was a lot more technical than what it looked like. And it was a strange ground. I never really did like I wanted to do in Fox Hill that I thought I could do, because I was going, it's hard track. It's like Italy, but when you're racing, it's a different track, so I liked it, but it was demanding. It's more demanding than what it looks like to me. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's still an iconic track, and it's actually my hometown, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
I go and check it out every now and then.
No, that track, it's wide open. It's technical. It has it all. I remember watching Puzar that year. I went up there. He was riding that track real good. I mean, he was doing those ruts, like just feet on the pegs, like there was some switchbacks. He was just like laying that thing down so low and doing the ruts so good. Yeah, it was. I liked watching him.
Yeah,
so
very cool. I liked him as well, Puzar. I even actually had one of those BFE yellow Puzar replica helmets that he had as well. I had one of them.
Oh, okay.
It's quite cool.
He was cool. That I remember that day. He was just railing those berms. It was good, real good.
Yeah, he was very cool. I got Peter Jeffrey has put on here. He can ride my KX 125 1990 any day, proper.
Yeah, I'll whip that sucker. Make it sing.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you.
Make it sing. Do you still have a ride now, Bader? Do you ride at all now at all?
Very little. Sometimes my friends call me. I go do a lap on their bikes, but I would like to, but I'm kind of scared. I scare myself because I know I can go fast still, but my body's reaction doesn't have what I know I can do. So it's kind of scary because I know I can just find myself flat out somewhere. So it's not enjoyable because your body is like, if you stop riding and you're fast, like you're wide open, you're Stewart. Okay. And you stop when you're at your high. And if you don't ride for a year, 2, 3 years, when you ride that bike again, you start where you stop. So 2, 3 laps, you can still fly like you did because that's what you're used to. That's what you know. But your body's not ready to brake, or if you do a swap or something, and you just, so it's dangerous. That's why I don't really ride too much anymore. Just a little bit, maybe if I ever do a school or something, I just show them some corners or just some stuff. But flat out riding, I don't enjoy, at least at the moment. At the moment, I don't enjoy it just because I know I can just wipe myself out.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know what you mean.
I want to go fast. I don't want to go slow when I
Yeah,
ride.
yeah. Mine wants to. Body doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. That's pretty much in the situation I'm in. It's been 21 years since I
Okay.
rode, and I
So
want
you
to.
know
I want
where
to
I'm
ride
coming
again.
from.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and I want to ride again. So it's like, ugh. Right. So I've got Ben Pig in here. He's put, what year do you think was the most stacked for you? Like the most competitive years for racing? You had a lot of competition around in them days.
Yeah. Well, actually, 91, 92, 93 were pretty stacked.
Mm,
That was when I was doing good, kind of like at my high. So
mm,
because the other years I wasn't really at my high, I was just like coming up, and then I started going down. I started fading in 95, 96, 97. That were my years. I was just like maintaining and a little bit fading. I was getting older, not any better.
mm,
But my highs and when it was strong was like 91, 92, 93 in Europe at least. And it was pretty stacked. You had, 10, 15,
mm,
no, 10, 11, 12 factory riders in those years. Those like 4 factory
mm,
Yamahas, 3 factory Hondas, factory Suzuki's, Kawasaki. So it was pretty stacked. But then it just got tough after that because I was going, yeah, it was those years right here. This was 92. Yeah. And
mm,
those years were pretty
mm-hmm.
stacked
Donnie Smith
at my
then.
high. But then,
Mm,
competition I started fading,
yeah.
you know, with age, but the competition was getting strong. So it was getting stronger. Everybody was getting healthier, stronger health
Mm,
wise. They're getting better condition, learning new techniques to get stronger. So it just got harder always, never got easier. So, but I was able to
mm.
maintain. I started,
Yeah, they were the great,
bicycling
great
more,
days.
training more. Yeah. So I say those years. Yeah.
What sort of
Those
training did
years.
you do? What sort of training did you do then, Bader? Did you do it before the season started, and then just obviously it was so busy traveling, you're just racing, or did you train throughout the season as well?
No, pretty much I did a lot of aerobics, which I should have.
Mm-hmm.
I see mistakes I did too, but the
Mm,
good stuff I did was aerobic exercise when it had the boom, when everybody was like doing aerobics, like step aerobics, that kind of stuff, just really pumping. I would go like do hard classes for like 2 hours a day. Um, but the most effective training in the end of the story was just flat out running or riding your bicycle.
mm,
And I found out my best results when I was like running one day and riding my bicycle the next day, running the next, switching it up, not doing always the same thing, but just between bicycle and running and just not really gym work. And that was really making me strong. And
mm,
then when doing in the winter time, we would do the base. Everyone does the base. We just do long riding, and where we just your legs would be strong. That was motorcycling. If your legs give out, then you're history. So cycling was really, really good. Like I would say flat out 2 hours every morning, bicycle. That was like the thing. Get up right away, bicycle, 2 hours, get that over
mm.
with, and then you do your motos. And that was a good program. But what my mistake was, I said that late in my racing. I did more like gym stuff, fun stuff, aerobics, everything to just kind of keep stuff always fun.
Mm.
So I kept stuff fun, but I lasted long, but I didn't perform like I should have. So that was
Yeah,
one of my mistakes that I look back
yeah,
now.
yeah. In hindsight, yeah.
Yeah, in hindsight, it was good for a
Mm,
long career. I was always healthy. I didn't have knee problems, so I always just maintained a certain level of fitness, but never really a real strong level of fitness until it was too late. When I
mm.
started to understand this is what you really need to do, then my body wasn't answering anymore because it was too old.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you.
So, but I can pass it on to other people if they need it. So,
Exactly. They need that experience as well, yeah, and give them the heads up. A lot of the guys sort of mentioned on here, from our point of view, a lot of the guys from obviously I'm in the UK, a lot of the guys in Europe that seen you in the GPs, everyone keeps mentioning when I mention you. First thing they mentioned was the Pepsi days and all that. Very
Yeah.
cool. Everyone loved that. Ben put here, it'd be interesting to know if he got free Pepsi during his Pepsi Honda days.
Yeah. But it wasn't Pepsi. It was Pepsi Max. So it wasn't as good
Yeah.
as Pepsi. It was sugar free.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it was good. We were drinking it. We were drinking. I got used to it. It was good stuff, but I haven't seen it in around anymore. Pepsi Max, because that was the big thing. They wanted to push Pepsi Max instead of Pepsi. Yeah.
Got some nice pictures on here. Got some.
Yeah. We had crates. We had crates of that stuff. It was cool. I had it all over
It
at
was
home. So.
everyone remembers you in that Pepsi Max gear.
Okay. Cool.
Very cool. Did you sort of all your sort of gear and your bikes all seemed they always stood out, and they always seemed they were always really cool and the fans really loved it. Part of your personality, or was that just how it went with the manufacturer, or whatever it was, or was that
Yeah,
for yourself?
pretty much. Like when I was writing for like a lot of companies, it was like still motor. I was like the only writer, so they concentrated to give me something strange. So it was pretty much, I wasn't really the designer. It was the other guys. The companies were giving me the stuff at that time, like even this white stuff. It was
Very cool.
SXP, that came up. So it was kind of like I was like the only guy they wanted to promote this kind of stuff. So it was fine for me. I was happy with the stuff they gave me. Always something nice, but it wasn't my part. It was the team doing it or the
Yeah.
companies sponsoring us. Yeah.
Interesting. What was this Honda bike like?
This one was nice. Those years, the 91, 92, 93, the Hondas were like top bikes those days. And my bikes were like completely stock. Completely
Oh, wow.
stock. I just had some suspension done on it, and I was like beating the factory guys. And I remember the factory guys I would get hole shots, and they would come and look at my bike. And I know my mechanic was just doing tricks on them. He was like putting little fake things on the motor, like little bumps, or like over the caps, like he would put like a bigger cap that just for looks, just to say
Yeah,
people, what's that on it? But it wasn't doing nothing. It was just looks.
that's brilliant.
So he was doing kind of stuff like that to freak people out.
A few little cheeky mind games, yeah.
Yeah, just mind games. Man, that guy, what's that? What does that thing do? It doesn't anything.
Yeah.
It just looks. So that
Yeah,
was,
that Bader flies. What's bike's he on?
yeah. And there was like people, like looking at my like the factory teams. They would come over like in '91. I was like completely stock bike. All I did was put like a rear sprocket, one tooth smaller, and I was getting hole shots at it in front of all the other guys, even the factory Yamaha guys. So they would come and look at my bike, and they would like look at the sprocket. They would do the same gearing I would do or something.
Yeah.
But it was just nothing, just little tiny things.
You were
I've
well
always
known for making quick starts as well. Was there something to that, Bader? Was you just reaction as well as some technique, or?
yeah, it's reaction because I'm naturally I have fast reflexes, so just naturally reflexes are fast. Then it's just
Yeah,
all convention. You got to be, when you're behind the gate, you got to be convinced that you're going to start. You got to imagine the corner that you're going to be there by yourself, nobody on the line, and then practice your starts. And with the fast reflexes, it comes
yeah,
together. So I think anyone who starts, you got faster, like a boxer. There's some faster guys and there's some slower guys. And I just have naturally fast reflexes. Yeah.
nice.
And then I'd look for
Was
everything to cheat. Like if the pin's moving or the guy's pulling or anything that I can get
yeah,
an advantage. If
you
it was
do.
there, I would always look for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a bit of an art, isn't it? All of it into one in a package.
Yeah.
100%.
But I had times where like I freaking 9 out of 10 starts, I was in the front. I had streaks where there was nothing that can stop me from starting in front. It just had a
Yeah.
feeling behind the gate.
I remember. I've seen some of it as well. It's cool. Very cool. Did you have any favorite numbers or anything like that in your racing days, Bader? Was there any numbers that
I
you
liked
really liked
8.
racing?
I like
Yeah.
number 8. That was a real nice number for me. 18. I liked 1. I had 1 like in the Italian Supercross races and stuff.
I like that a lot because like a big thick one on there, and it was like pretty cool. No one likes one anymore, but in those back in those
No.
days, I think people used to like number one. For some
Yeah.
reason, they don't like it anymore. At
No,
least.
no, no.
Yeah.
Did so when obviously you were back in America, did you obviously do a lot of the Supercross as well?
Yeah, because I would practically I was spending 8 months in Europe and then 4 months in America. So I would do November, December, January, February in California. So I would do some Supercross races, some Golden State Series, just always to keep myself trained. So I never really had a time where I was just stopped. I was always active. Yeah, pretty much.
Did you have a preference? Did you prefer motocross side or did you prefer the Supercross side if you had a choice? Did you prefer either one?
Actually, I would prefer motocross. I mean, I was good at supercross, but the thing is, the supercross, if you're not training, you don't have a track, and you're always on there, and you got everything good, you know, suspension, then it's tough. So it was easier to have because where I was living in San Diego, there was no supercross tracks. So to get to supercross tracks, you had to travel up north. But for the outdoor stuff, everything was behind the house. Everything was fast, easy, good tracks. So it was more simple. But actually, I thought actually I was better naturally a supercross rider. Like if I had the track and that training and I did it what it needed to do, I was a great supercross rider to myself. But everything had to be right. You had to train right, track right, but jumping and stuff and being a cat on the bike, and that kind of stuff, it was more naturally to me. Yeah.
Nice one there of you.
That's me. I can't see that so good.
Bit of airtime. I think someone's done a black and white one of you there.
Yeah. That was before the 60s, maybe. 1959.
I was just looking at these ones here. I hadn't seen main part like that. What was that?
Yeah,
What was that bike like?
That bike was fast. That was a
Was it?
factory KTM. They gave me it for like 3 races.
Mm-hmm.
It was fast. It was like it had, I think, 14,000 RPMs. It was, I think, Trampus or somebody was hurt, and they gave me his bike for like the last 3 races. And it was a factory KTM by Ferrioli. And when I raced it, I did some good results. I was like 9th in the championship. And that year, I think Ferrioli goes, if you finish in the top 8, you'll get a factory ride for the next year. Wow. So we went into the last race, and I was like 8th place. And Di Maria, remember Yves Di Maria?
Yeah, yeah.
He was out of the season. He came into that last race, and he just beat me. I think he passed me like on the last lap or something happened. I don't remember the exact thing, but he wasn't like in the championship race or anything, and he like pushed me out of 8th position, like the last lap, last race of the season, and I got 9th instead of 8th. And Ferrioli goes, "Sorry, you got 9th, not 8th. You said if you got 8th, you got the deal."
Way.
So I was cut.
No way.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Wow.
So I was cut out, and I think I went to Honda after that. Yeah, I think I raced Honda. Everything was fine with Honda, but that was a nice deal. But
I've got Gareth Edwards has put, what's the most skillful thing that he's seen anyone do on a motocross bike? Interesting.
What's the most skillful thing he's seen? Oh, okay. Yesterday, the freaking double front flip.
No.
Have you seen the double front flip?
I haven't yet. No. Is that what they're doing now?
I just seen it, I think, a couple of days ago. Freaking a guy double front flips. He almost killed himself.
Right, is it?
He landed on the handlebars. I think he lost some teeth, but he pulled it off. Yeah.
It's naughty, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I think Pastrana or someone did the triple backflip, but doing a front flip, you got to see it. Look it up. Double front flip does it.
Yeah, I have to check this out. That's weird.
Yeah. I think that's, And then they got a lot of stuff that I see these days. I was imagining,
back in our
Yeah.
days, because we were like the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
guys jumping off the cliffs. But
Mm,
shit, these guys are beyond the imagination. You know, it's like
it's crazy.
you're dreaming back then in the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
backflips, triple backflips, and all this stuff. Just like, what? You know, it's just a dream. I was dreaming. I think I dreamed I did backflips and that kind of stuff, but you know, it wasn't real. Now it's real. So that's
It's
the
mad.
gnarliest stuff that I've
Yeah, it's
seen.
mad.
Freestyle
I got
guys.
I got Jim Redford. He's put what an awesome rider at the 250 GP. I think on a Suzuki. I think 8990.
Yeah, 89. Yeah, yeah, 89. Yeah. I
Yeah,
love
nice
that thing.
chat.
That was another one of my mistakes, is leaving Suzuki. That was, yep, that year.
Yeah,
That
is
was
that it? Yeah.
89.
Yeah.
The team was, they were tough, but they had heart. The Carpi Motor team, they really had a heart, you know, for racing.
Yeah.
And they trained me. We went to the races, tracking, but at the end of the year, I lost some feeling there. I didn't feel like I had the material that I needed under me, and we just parted ways. So I should have stayed with him, actually.
Yeah.
But you know, being young and dumb, you know, well, you never stop to learn. I'm still learning today, but
Yeah.
that was one of my mistakes. I think I would have, looking back now, you know, I needed to stay there in that position for a few more years just to learn more, get more out of, instead of switching teams and starting out new. Because every time you switch teams, you know, it's kind of it's a new start. I
New
was kind
start.
of
Yeah.
just starting to get good with this team, and I left. So that
Mm,
was another mistake. So I
mm,
actually think riders should, once they start getting good, you know, with their teams and they're starting to get good, just stick it out and really, you know, even if maybe they're paying you less or something, but in the end, the most important thing is teamwork. You know, your bike, that you're happy with your bike and everything is just strong. Then, you know, if
mm,
once everything is good, then everything else will follow. So.
mm. Ben's asked here about what made you come over to Europe in the first place. How did that come about?
Well, actually, that was like between 1987 and 88. I got injured, and I was like in
Mhm,
between contracts. I didn't have a secure contract, and I
mhm.
was just sitting at home with very little training because I just came off an injury. And a team called me from a guy named Andy. He's from Sweden, Lundgren.
Ah, yeah.
And he was working for a team. You might know Andy.
Yes. It speaks
Andy,
to
yeah.
me quite a bit. Mm,
Okay. He called me. He goes, Carpi Motor wants you to come do a supercross race. Are you interested? You know, we'll give you some travel money. There's money at the races. You get a little bit of upfront money. I said, that's fine. You know, I was like 20 years old, sitting at home. So I jumped on, it was like on a Wednesday, jumped on a
mhm,
plane Friday. The race was Saturday. Got there Saturday morning to Milano. They took me straight from the airport to the track, got my gear on, and did practice and race that night. And I was just brought some clothes for the weekend. I thought I was just going to do one race. So finished the race. I was like doing double jumps and triple jumps nobody was doing. Just, and they're just like, wow, man, I won like those three motos. I think I did a first, a second, and some guy just cleaned me out because everybody hated me. Not everybody, but a lot of riders, you know, oh, you're coming here
yeah.
taking our
Yeah.
bread, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So I
Yeah. Yeah.
remember people throwing cigarettes at me. You know, they don't want me here taking
Mhm,
their bread.
yeah.
But the team liked it. The a lot of the public liked it. You know, though some people that didn't. But they said the next week there's another race, Supercross race. You want to stay here? Same thing. You know, we'll give you some upfront money. There's race money and all that stuff. I said sure. You know, I didn't have anything left at home practically.
Mhm,
Um, so we went to the next race, and then I won that one. Did some double jumps nobody ever did. They're going, how do you do that? But it wasn't like it was me. You know, the American riders in Supercross, they were ahead, and they're still
yeah.
ahead. And you know,
Mhm,
here they're kind of like behind. So stuff
mm,
that looked possible to me, it wasn't like something amazing. It was like, you know, it's doable. But to the other
mm,
guys that never did something like that, they're like, oh wow, man, this guy. So it was just being a little ahead. I was crazy, but you know, it wasn't like something that never's been done or can't be done. There's, you know, other
mm,
American guys would do it. So after that race, I go, there's another race. So it was those days where there was like a lot of races, a lot of money going
mm,
around.
up front money for all the races. So I didn't see home for a year and a half. I left
Wow.
for the weekend. So, and I was like, see you, Mom, Dad, we'll see you next week. And they're like, the
wow.
week after, I go, Mom, there's another race. Okay, if you're having fun, no problem. Just stay there, have fun. Mom, I'm saying another week. Okay, just stay there, have fun. A year and a half went by.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like
Crazy.
crying, but I was having fun at
Getting
the same time.
homesick, yeah.
So, and that's
That's
how it
pretty
all
cool.
started. I got contracts to stay here with other teams, and then it just went on.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I did have Mr. Lundgren. He asked, "How did you end up in Italy?" He said, "Ask him how he ended up in Italy." So you've just told the story. So that was beautiful.
Oh, great.
Beautiful. Also had Patrick Corrigan, American guy. He said to me, ask him about a painted Arai helmet he had with an alligator painted on it. What happened to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is that's in one of my good friend's house. They have this alligator sitting there on the shelf. So she has it at home.
What was the reason for the alligator on it then?
It was Serrano, Serrano Design. He was in
Oh,
America.
Yeah.
And alligator, because when I went to Florida, Bader, they were calling me Gator. So I kind of got a nickname Gator.
Yeah.
And it just kind of went around, and Serrano was like one of the only guys, I think him and Troy Lee, and pretty much the only guys doing all these designs. And he goes, man, I want to make you a helmet and put an alligator. I said, okay, that's cool. And he made it. It was like awesome. And I was wearing it all over. And and it just
nice.
There.
I like that.
So Florida is that's the reason.
The old gators.
Gators and alligators in Florida. So I was Gator.
Golf courses. They're on the golf courses and everywhere.
Yeah.
You have to be careful where you're going. I got some cool pictures of you on the podiums here. Let's have a look at this one.
That's the fast cross. Yeah.
Yes, loved the fast cross. I think everyone loved that, and you seemed to excel at the fast cross, didn't you?
Yeah, I had certain races where I don't know, like there's a fast cross. I always felt good, and then I think riders have that where just some tracks it's in your blood. That year it wasn't hard to win. It was like I got the whole shot and I just like controlled the race. And another race where I always woke up was a Carpi Night Show. It was another international race. They did it once a year. They invited all, top European riders, some American riders, some top factory riders from America. And I won that like 9 years in a row with, people like these guys coming. That was the race. Willie Surratt, Mickey Diamond, Ronnie Lachine. A lot of guys would come over and normally maybe they would beat me at home in America, but when we came here, I just like shined. I just had a feeling, just a strong feeling. That was like a couple $1 million race. I came alive in these races. Like I would go to the World Championships and Parker would like smoke me. We'd go to this race and I would smoke him. So it's just like,
yeah. Got a nice one here as well.
My battery's going down on my phone. I'm gonna have to connect here somewhere.
Okay, yeah.
Give me a second.
No worries.
And now I'm gonna go. I was in the attic here. So that's my little attic. We go in our little room.
Going on a Bader tour, yeah?
This is the Bader room.
Okay.
I like this little. Let me see if there's a little bit of light
just
here.
Let me get rid of this picture.
Okay. Turn a little bit of light on. This is my little bedroom. I got this little picture I like. A little portrait.
Oh yeah. See that?
I got that at the Lago di Garda. I thought it was kind of nice, just how the guy painted. Did a little like
the trees, the tree effect.
Yeah, like the trees, but that orange, it's just like globs of paint splattered on there. So
wow, looks like
it has like
leaves on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, leaves on the floor. It's like thick. It's like paint just splattered on there, and it turns into leaves. So he's like some Italian Svezia But I thought it was cool when just seeing it there like that. So.
Yeah, it does look cool. It does look cool. Yeah. Got a nice one here. A lot of you. I think that's Parker and Diamond and you. I think at the line
Yeah,
somewhere.
and that's Mike Healy with a bandana.
Oh yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, no, you said that.
Yeah,
With the earphones on. Cool.
yeah.
Got a nice one there of you.
Yeah, that's when I won the fast cross. That's Saporiti. They're going to start the fast cross again. They're working on the track.
Are they? Are they?
Yep. So maybe it's coming back.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah.
What was that? What was that Yamaha like then, Bader? What was that Yamaha like?
Oh, that Yamaha, that thing was fast. And
Was it?
for some reason, we found a good, the motor, like the bike was stock. The suspension was done by Poletti. I remember him putting a stiffer for that race. He put a stiffer spring on the back.
Yep.
And it just worked so good. And the motor was just a little bit of porting work, and maybe with a little bit of head. With a Brandini, he's like a famous guy in Italy.
Yep.
His name's a Brandini, and he did the motor work, just cleaned up like the ports, just very little stuff. But he was like a wizard. So just with the small stuff he did, the bike really worked good. And I got the whole shot at that race, and the bike worked good. So I couldn't ask for anything more, and everything went good. Everything went fine.
All right, so Jim's just come back on and said, "How did you get on with Jeremy Watley and Robbie Herring?"
Yeah, no, I never really had anything with those guys. They're really nice guys. Watley, I really didn't. I never really talked to him, we just kind of seen each other at the track. But Herring, I wasn't friends with him, but we talked some, and we were a little bit closer. But I never really had any discussions or anything with those guys. At least that I remember. Everything's always been cool. Even the racing together was all always respect. At least for my part. Yeah. So
I think there's a picture on this that Peter Jeffrey sent me as Fox Hill there. I think you're just going up the face of the double there, and I think Rob Herring's just in front of you.
Yeah.
Parker, I can see.
Yeah, those guys are fast.
Can you remember the crowds? Yeah, can you remember the crowds? Bader
Yeah.
at Fox Hill and
Oh yeah, it's incredible. It's
atmosphere.
incredible. The cloud, they come dressed and they're there for days before, and it's like a Woodstock of motocross.
Yeah,
but yeah, Fox Hill.
Very cool.
Very cool.
I got
but those guys were fast.
Another...
Herring's was sometimes he was just fast. Fast.
Yeah. Very fast.
You
got a picture of you
from...
with another Brit here. I got, is that you and Malin, I think?
Yep. That was 125. I think was that 125 race.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think that's 125.
Is this Majora? It might be Majora. Or wait.
That'd be like 97, 96.
97.
97.
Yep. Yeah, because for that purple short shirt, that was my suspension. The guy who used to do my suspension, Punto Moto. And I was kind of like a little privateer there. I was privateering from 97, 98, kind of did my own thing. Yeah.
Did you enjoy doing the 125s?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Actually, 125s I liked a lot in 94. I was in Suzuki. I had some good rides. We had like a Suzuki kit. Carpi Motor gave us the bikes, but that was a Carpi Motor bike, which I rode for the guys in 89. That was sad to leave the team, but they gave me a bike, supported me with a bike in 94. The bike was great. The team was great. The bike was always beautiful at the track, everything shiny and all that stuff. So it really looked good. I liked that a lot that year. It was really nice.
Did you have any superstitions at all, Bader, when you raced or anything like that?
I would kind of like knock on my bike on the fenders and stuff, and like go get get out, Satan, get off my bike or anything kind of like that. I always just tap my bike. I was doing a little bit of that. And then what else did I have? At one time, I also had like a little medal in my pants. So like the gear used to have a little tiny pocket in there. I would like put like a little medal inside there. That was like my medallion, good luck thing. But then the pants, didn't have that anymore. So I kind of like went off to knocking on my bike. So always had something little,
some kind of superstition. Yeah.
Yeah, little thing that you did.
I know. So I
Did you?
know Jeff Stanton. Did you know
Mhm.
Jeff Stanton's thing?
No, I
Did he
didn't
ever
know.
say his thing?
I'm
His
not sure if you told me.
his little superstition, at least, was he never wore underwear.
No way.
No underwear when racing.
Can't believe. No, I didn't. You didn't mention that one.
Maybe he won't mention it, but I read it somewhere. He mentioned it to somebody because it was like he went to the races and he forgot a pair of
Yeah.
underwear or something. So he did the race without underwear and like he won it by big time. So that was he going, man, if I can race and win without underwear, I'm going to start racing without underwear. So that's when he started, I guess.
That's
So
brilliant.
if you ask
That's
him about
brilliant.
that, where's your you have underwear
Yeah, I
now? Do you
will.
wear underwear now?
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. Did you have many injuries over the years, Bader? Any injuries that you feel stopped you from achieving more? Was there any injuries that?
Actually, I did have injuries which stopped me from achieving. But in my younger
Mm,
years, because there was points where I was starting to do good, get strong, and I was like, okay, getting on the rhythm. Then boom, I would get hurt,
mm,
and there was like every year. It was like every year I would get hurt at a time where it was kind of critical. So, but then after that, I understood. So, I understood when to let off, or so
mm,
I went a lot of years without getting hurt. But those lot of years without getting hurt, I think it was too late, because you have a
mm,
time in your career where you're just on a freight train, you're going and moving. And, I won a lot of races. I did a lot of stuff, but I didn't win all, the world championships like I wanted it to. I didn't do stuff like it should have been done. And I think it was,
mm,
some of the causes from injuries. And looking back
mm,
now, if you study other riders who's won a lot of championships, done everything, they go years without getting hurt. Tyroli,
mm,
I think he's never been, never broken a bone,
mm.
and he's won 10 championships,
Yeah.
so that's really important, is when you're
Mm,
young, is to control your, if you're a lion, you got to control your strength. And that's
mm,
what brings you to do what you want to do, is when you're always in control of your strengths, and that brings you a long and strong career.
Did you like doing all these sort of things? I got a picture of you here. There you go. Look.
Yeah, I like that stuff. There's some people didn't, but I liked being the pictures and all that stuff while
Yeah.
it lasted. So yeah, she
That's very cool.
actually, that girl there,
Yeah.
she was in my class. She was like a classmate at school.
Was she?
But yeah, so so I knew her, but I didn't know that she was going to be there for the photos. They called me one day, they're going, yeah, we want to make some photos of the new gear. Come down to the studio, and I go down there. I go in the studio, get ready for photos, and she comes walking in. I'm going, oh, what are you doing, Don? And oh, I'm here following photos. So they put us together. We already knew each other, so it was pretty
Well,
funny.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That was a coincidence then.
yeah.
Is there any other sports that you actually enjoy watching, Bader?
Oh, it actually phases of my life. There wasn't one sport where it was just phases where I really like to watch football.
Mm,
Then I was watching a little bit of baseball. I got into football a lot. Football,
okay.
American football. I
Hmm.
liked watching it. Really got into
Yeah.
that. So the sport, which I would say football. Yeah.
Tracks wise, did you have any favorite tracks in America for starters? Any favorite tracks that you remember in America?
I liked my local track was Barona Oaks, San Diego, California, and I see they're still running it out there. Everything's fine, and I love that track. I just remember, like, I can still smell the track in the area. They would like just grade the track in the mornings, like just perfect. This water,
Yeah.
perfect. Like it was just like Play-Doh,
Yeah.
perfectly smooth. I just remember going out there in the first practice, just wide open, just railing everything wide open and stuff. So that was my favorite track.
Yeah.
And then I started doing the nationals and stuff, but never really a favorite track to me. There was like people saying, "Oh, my favorite track is Unadilla. My favorite
Yeah.
track is Washugo."
Hmm.
But
No, they were just other tracks to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Didn't
they
really
were
have a
nice.
specific
A
one.
lot of tracks. I liked
Mm.
a lot of tracks, but I didn't really have one favorite track because I just like did
Did,
one race here, one race there. So yeah.
did you have like a particular terrain that you liked? Did you like the sand, or that you prefer the hard pack? Was there a sort of a? You mentioned
Mm,
that that was quite plasticine. Then you like that
yeah,
type of conditions.
I was more of a hard pack guy, but
Hmm.
um, I understood myself by the way I was. It was just more where I would train. I would like.
Mm.
So if I trained a lot in the sand and stayed in the sand, then my body would adapt, and I was a sandman. You know, I would really go good. You got to get a certain flow
Mm.
and a feeling, and then it goes from there. But if you don't have that flow and feeling, then you just struggle. And living in Italy at those times, you know, it was all hard packed. So I was,
Mm.
even though I could ride fast in the sand if I trained and I
Mm.
can really, you know, go good, I just
Mm.
didn't have the training behind it. Which now, you know, all the GP riders, the Italian guys, they go live in Belgium, and you know,
Mm.
they're all around riders now. It's not like the olden days
Mm.
where, you know, the Italian riders would do all good on the hard tracks. All
Yeah.
the Holland riders will only do good on the sand tracks. Now it's
Yeah.
like everybody's wide open everywhere. There's
Yeah.
nothing,
Yeah.
there's nothing
Yeah.
left
Exactly.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Is there a specific memorable race that you've still got in your memory now that still sticks out to you? Some of your memorable races over the years.
Um, yeah, the memorable is just the ones I've won, like
Mm.
big races, like, you know, the first place in the 125 class in Argentina on the 125,
Yeah.
Schwanenstadt first place, just kind of like those races. My first Supercross race, winning that race, um, Fast Cross,
Yeah.
just races that I've won that, but no real race that just really hits me hard. Pretty much just the ones that I've won still stay in me. Yeah, yeah.
Who was your? Did you have any? Who were your closest friends in and around the paddock, sort of over the years? Did you have? Was it American guys, or was it just any of the guys? Did you have any
Um,
guys that you were closer to than others?
yeah, like Trampus, he was really close friend. Parker.
Yep. Yep.
Then Bobby, I lived with Bob Moore.
Ah, you
Yeah,
lived
that's
with Bob Manneh.
Trampus. See how we were so
Yep.
close?
Yeah. Really close.
He was like, "Go, Bader, you can go, damn
Yeah.
it."
That's
So
brilliant.
yeah, we were real close friends. And Bobby too. I lived with him for a year. We shared the same
Did you?
apartment, you know, rooms
Yeah.
next to each other.
Mm.
Donnie Schmidt. I wasn't like real good friends, but kind of a little friendship there. Um, Willie Surratt. So mainly the American guys
Mhm.
I was friends with. Yeah.
Do you have any regrets of your career? Really? Any decisions making or changing teams? Any teams you wish you hadn't of, or wish you had of, or
Uh,
anything like that?
yeah. I like the biggest regret is
Mm.
probably, I think that maybe, looking back, it probably
Mm.
did set my career back, but you know, you can never say what would have happened. But I had a great opportunity with Ricky Johnson in 90, in 86. Ricky Johnson, I was training with him because he was like 15 minutes away from me. So I was friends with him. I would go ride and train with him. And I was with Kawasaki.
Mhm.
And I was starting to do good in the racing, everything. He's taking me training on Supercross, was doing all kinds of stuff. And I was getting really good. And he goes, "Hey, Bader, I talked to the guys, factory guys at Honda. If you would like, you know, come, they'll take you in, you know, give you the factory bike. You're with me on the team. And, you know, we're together. We're pushed forward. They can give you the same stuff that Cowie's giving you. And we're good." And I just like, man, I feel so sad. You know, I was young. I was going, man, thanks, Ricky. It's really nice. But, you know, I've been with Kawasaki. They did everything for me. And, you know, for the
Mm.
same thing, I don't really think, you know, I don't really want to change teams. You know, I kind of like feel obligated.
Mm.
And he goes, man, you know, whatever, it's cool, you know, but, you know, it's open, you know, if you want it, it's cool. And Kawasaki, I was doing good. They go, yeah, don't worry, you know, your contract for the next year, everything's good, everything's cool. So I was happy, you know, I was so I stayed with Kawasaki, and that was like in June. July. Ricky told me this. So Kawasaki, so time went by. July went by. I still haven't signed. I was doing races, kind of doing good. Then August went by. And I was like going September time for contracts. And they called me in September and go, I was waiting to get a contract. They go, well, I think you better start looking for a team because the higher ups in Japan took Matasevich to ride for them or ride for the team. I'm going, and he was just coming out of the amateur ranks.
Mm.
I'm going, what? I was like, that's strange. You got, you told me, the manager was Roy Turner back then. He goes, yeah, you're secure. You got your ride. You're good, doing good. So yeah, everything felt good.
Mm.
And like in September, Honda already got McGrath. They gave the bikes to Peak to Pro Circuit, so they had their 125 rider. I couldn't go back to Ricky and go, Ricky, look, I changed my mind. It was like already 2-3 months went by. I could, maybe I was able to, but I didn't.
Mm.
So that really hindered. I kind of like went down. That's when I kind of came to Europe, and that year went down. I just kind of like, I got screwed. I got screwed out of the deal. And
especially when you were showing your loyalties to Kawasaki as well.
Yeah, I was like my loyalty. So that doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
Wow.
I think here money talks, bullshit walks.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to talk bad about anybody, but I was like, I wasn't dropped, but I was like taking, they put someone else in my spot. That
so you were sort of assured that place. Yeah.
Yeah. They're saying, don't worry about Bader. We'll just take this guy because he's better for our publicity or better for something, whatever. They had something more of interest in taking him than taking me. And the way they read it off, it all came from Japan. So nobody wanted to take responsibility. Higher ups. So I'm sorry, Bader, what I told you, I'm sorry, but it comes from Japan.
Yeah.
So, everybody washes their hands and I'm left out. So I think that really hindered my career in a lot of ways because I was really on a freight train. And then it was just all recuperating, riding, trying to do my best. I was doing good, but I think a rider, progresses, you're on the train, you're doing good, and you just keep going from there. So it could have been a setback and maybe it wasn't. I could have rode for Honda and, could have got injured, anything could have happened. But if I look back now, it was one thing that hindered me for sure in a way. But, a champion will be a champion anyway. So you never know.
Have you got any funny stories you could tell us? Any funny story?
Gosh, right now, I think something that come to mind. I know there was a lot of them, but
there's a nice one. Look, of you back then, and I think it says 88 on that card, a little playing card, like
it was 87. But yeah, funny story. They're not coming to mind at the moment. I think this was like Kawasaki in I think that was.
Is that more later on?
That was later on. 90. No, not 90. It was 86, 87, 88. No, 97, 98, 99, 2000. Maybe it was around 2000. I think this was around 2000.
What was that bike like? Can you remember?
It wasn't bad. Actually, it wasn't bad. The bike wasn't bad. It was standard bike because I was like riding standard bikes in those days. Maybe just a little bit of motor work, some suspension, but it was pretty good bike. This was
I did like them Hondas when you had them like that.
Oh, okay. Here, it's not a funny story, but this truck, the team owner, he bought it and he put like inside the truck like fake grass.
Oh, AstroTurf, like.
Yeah, AstroTurf. So he put AstroTurf, and then one day, like the tables and stuff, when you take them out of the hole, there's like little holes. You're going, hey, let's play some golf in the truck.
Little putting.
Yeah. So we were
Is it-
playing golf inside that truck because it was
That's
full of
brilliant.
Astro. It was full of AstroTurf, so that was
Full of
funny.
astroturf. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That bike was pretty trick. It always looked trick.
Yeah, I love that thing, and also the
Yeah.
teeth. I said, man, put me some teeth
Yeah,
on
on the
those.
helmet.
If you,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that a lot. So that was
I
kind
do.
of
Yeah, that's
funny.
pretty cool. That is very cool.
Yeah,
Got one there. I think that was at Fox. It was a bit.
yeah.
They looked like they
I
watered it
think that
quite a
was.
bit
I
there.
think looking back, that was like my best setup. I think.
Did look very cool as well.
Yeah, the
Is that
T-motor.
the what's that? Is that the
There's Carpet
Suzuki
Motor.
truck there?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's an old photo. Yeah, that's an old one.
Oh, that's a
That's
nice one, isn't
88. Oh, here's a good story, a funny story. I mean, I shouldn't
it?
give it away because I got pole position.
Yep.
Bob Hanna, not Ricky John, Bob Hanna, Ronnie Lachine, I think Mickey Diamond. There was like all the top guys from America at the Masters
Yep.
of Motocross Majora.
Yep.
Okay, time trials. This was Saturday time trials. You know, there's a Masters of Motocross. I think the Boers was there. Everybody. I was like young guy on the stock bike. We go out for time trials.
Yep.
Pole position, Bader Manneh. I'm like, I come in to the pits.
Yeah.
Just going slow. I park my bike, go to the truck. I hear on the microphone, Bader Manneh, pole position. I'm like looking. I'm like, what? Pole position? How? So, and Bob Hanna looks at me, and he goes, "Man, you're fucking riding good." Freaking, and I'm going, and it wasn't finished. And I seen Ronnie Machine. He was still out there because he seen that I got pole position. So I seen that he was like, and he was like fast guy. He won like the nationals that day, and he was like 4 seconds faster than everybody. But when I got the pole position, I think I was like 5 seconds faster than everybody. So Ronnie was out there just pushing, and he like brought it down like 3 seconds faster in second place, and I still had a second ahead of him. And they're going, "Man, Bader, you're riding so good." He said, "You must feel good." And so I'm like to Bob Hanna, okay. I go, "Yeah, not bad." And he's all, "You smart ass." He's like, he goes, "You smart ass." I'm all, I feel okay. What happened? What happened there? They made a mistake because I was like doing hot laps. I was trying to do, fast laps.
Yeah.
And then it was like one lap, I cut the track, but like I didn't cut the track to do a good lap. I cut the track just to go off and out. And like I cut half the track. It wasn't like cut a corner and a whole half the track. There was like an opening. I said, I don't
Yeah.
want to do the whole lap. I'll just turn around and go back to the pits. But going back to the pits, you had to pass the thing. So, if it was right, it should have been
Yeah.
30 seconds faster than everybody. It was like half the track. But I just like turned around there, went slow, went over the jump, went back into the pits. Bader Manneh, first place. So it stuck. And I didn't say anything. I was like going around with my head down. Yeah. I felt, that's pretty good. That wasn't bad.
Not playing it down. Like, yeah, it was fine.
So like,
That's
oh
brilliant.
shit. I was like, oh shit, what am I going to do now? Because I can't look bad. When we go out to the race, I'm like, 5 seconds slower than Ronnie and Bob Hanna. But it worked out good because I won the freaking race. I won a moto. No, I won one moto, and the other moto I got like fourth or third. So it was all good. But nobody knew that short.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah. So I kind of got
That's
lucky
good.
winning, but I didn't want to say I got that free pole position. So that was
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's really good. It's funny. Was there any riders out there that you didn't particularly like racing with? Was there any guys out there that you had to sort of give a wide berth that you had to keep an eye on when they were out there when you were racing them sort of guys? Was there any? Bet there was plenty of them, was there?
Like Mike Healy. No, he was a real good friend of mine. He's totally cool, but at some stage in the life, you didn't want to be around Mike Healy when you're racing because he would just freight train you. He was just like, around. He's like no mercy. But it wasn't like I didn't like racing with him. He was cool buddy. We raced together. I ran into him too because like he ran into me. It was like we were playing doggy dog.
Yeah.
So he wasn't the type of guy where you can feel comfortable with around you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mike was
it wasn't like I didn't like, I raced with him. We had good fightings and stuff, but he was one tough guy. You got to be careful.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. If you
Yeah.
could, if you got the opportunity, Bader, if you could re-race a certain race in your prime, where would you like to re-race?
Shoot, everything. Not everything, but I mean,
Yeah,
like
go
the
back to that time. Yeah,
supercrosses, the supercross. I would have liked, because I understood I could do good at the supercrosses, because I was always like in America when I understood from Ricky, because Ricky, he
yeah,
was always ahead of everybody. But he had his track, he did his training, and in those days, you know, I was riding outdoor stuff, and then would on the weekend go race supercross. So, but I would do good anyways, but I wasn't really specialized. And when I just did like 3 days with Ricky riding on the supercross, I went to the supercross the weekend after, and like I won the race. So I understood if I rode that stuff and I would really excel. And I think main stuff like the supercross series and stuff like that, I would have liked to race again, but with the preparation that you can do. With the
yeah,
right preparation, I would have loved to race all the supercross races. Being prepared and being ready,
yeah.
which I never really was 100% like it should be. I would say that.
Peter Jeffrey put, what riding gear did you like best that you had? I mean, we talked about that you had a load of different special gear, but did
Shoot,
you have any favorites?
the favorites, um, Hallman at the beginning. They really they were just coming out of, they just came to America, Thorsten Hallman. Um, and it was right before they went to Thor. So I was like getting the last stuff of Hallman, and they were starting to get really creative, because I never rode for America. It was just only Hallman I rode for, and they really started to come out with stuff, and it was like, wow, that's new stuff. They would give it to me for like the first guys, then they would come out with the black line. They even like Scott Burnsworth. So that was kind of like interesting stuff, and I was like in it all around it. So like the first they wanted black, Bader, you want to wear black? Okay, we wore black. It was like I wasn't just another rider wearing a gear, so it was cool.
Something specific. Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
cool. Whoever's asked that question, we've already covered that, so you can you'll watch some of this back when you get the chance. Got another one here from Anthony Mitchell that says, "Hi Bader, did you ever get to the top of the hill you used to run up in training?"
Yeah. I got to the top, and I was getting I was like fast. I don't think anybody ever beat me. Ricky Johnson, I took him up that hill. He almost threw up.
Did
He
he?
was laughing at me at the bottom because we were riding up, but I knew the hill. He didn't. So, because so we started going up, and I knew where I'd rest a little bit. I knew where I can push, and he didn't know that. So he's like, "Yeah, man, let's go." And I was like pedaling, and I knew he was pedaling too hard at some sections where you had to give up. At least I thought you had to give up, and he started pedaling, which it's normal because if you don't know some sections. But yeah, I got to the top, and I was fast. I was like, I did good what I did, but yeah, doing good. Got to that top of the hill.
Cool.
They were a bit smaller than the hills after. Like what's his name, Ryan Dungey. They were like 3-hour hills. My hills were like half hour, 45 minutes. They weren't those 3-hour hills. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'm with you. Did you try any other motorcycle sports? Did you ever try speedway at all?
No, never tried speedway, but I did. Did the mini Olympics in Florida.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which those years they had speedway with the motocross bike with flat track tires.
Yeah.
So they had speedway, TT, and all that kind of stuff. But I've never tried speedway. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
I did some enduro stuff, a couple enduro races. I did one enduro race. It's called the Lumezzane Extreme. It's like 8 hours, start in the morning and finish in the end. It was gnarly. It was like, I'd never do that race again.
that bad?
I thought it wasn't a problem, but I've never had my abs, my fingers, arms, everything just so sore. I thought enduro, no problems, but it was hardcore stuff. Riding all day.
Did you do any of the beach races? Any of the beach races that they do in the sand?
No,
Have you done any of them?
No, never did that.
that looks cool, but I never did those beach
Mm.
races.
Yeah, there's a
Never.
few big ones over in the UK they do as well.
Wow. Yeah.
Everts and a few others have come over and rode in it a few times.
Yeah, I remember
Uh,
doing that. Yeah. Yeah.
I've got a couple of other pictures here. Is this nice one? Yeah,
That's Supercross. Yeah, I was 40 years old, just coming off. Um, I was just riding some Supercross races in Italy, training and stuff, and I kind of felt
mhm.
good. I said, "I'm 40, but maybe let's go give it a try." And I remember the speaker goes, "Bader Manneh, 18 years young." So I think he meant it was 18 years since my last Supercross when I came over.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So
but
that's
I
riding like a
think,
teenager.
yeah, I think I qualified. I qualified for the main, and
Yeah.
I was good in the. I did like a fourth in the time trials for
Yeah.
qualifications, but I was already 40 years old, so I had like 3 laps in me, and then I was puttered out. So
Yeah. That's pretty
yeah,
cool. Those doing that then as well, wasn't it? Very cool.
yeah, yeah. That was different.
Nice picture
That
of the
was
number one on there.
yeah, that was the Pepsi guy, and then my friends, because Pepsi half the year I wasn't doing really good results, and I was like going through that team was kind of like it wasn't a growing team. It was when I entered that team, it was already a fading team. They already had actually it was Youth Stream, Giuseppe
Mm.
Longo, the
Oh
Beckus
yeah, yeah.
guys.
Mm-hmm.
That was their team, the Pepsi team.
Ah, right,
So
okay.
in '96, it was kind of like they had like a 3-year contract or something with Pepsi. So they did
Yeah.
the 1 year with Di Maria and like Volan, and they won like a lot of GPs. They did real good. The next year they
Mm.
did good, and that was like the 3rd year. And like Pepsi was closing, so it was kind of like a closing year, so they didn't really concentrate that much. My results weren't like they should be, so they just kind of like, you can have all the bikes and stuff and just kind of do your own thing. So they gave me the truck, the bikes, and these guys were my friends from the area, which did my
Ah,
mechanics. So I kind of like just finished the year off, and the team closed because they already were making programs to go into promotion, Longo and Beckis and stuff. So that was kind
yeah.
of like just moving the motions that year, not really a growth year at all. Plus, I was
What was that bike
getting
like?
older. The bike was I didn't really like it that much. I didn't like it because
Ah,
it was like here's the bike. There was no
yeah.
um, technical aspect behind it. I didn't have
No,
no technical mechanic. I didn't have any engineer. Didn't have a suspension
no.
guy. It was just kind of like do on your own. They gave me
Mm,
the hand me down stuff from the year before.
yeah,
So and that it really should have been my strongest year because
yeah.
before when the year before when the bike was full factory Di Maria, I signed the
Mm,
contract. That was kind of another letdown for me, a really big
mm,
letdown because I was actually promised a full factory bike. So I went home. I was training like ever. I was just doing everything I could. Felt
mm,
real good. Everything was perfect. I went home for 3 months. When I got back, I found this bike that was kind of like a training bike. I think it was Volan's old bike. It was just like
mm,
really down. I was just like my arms just dropped down. Man, I did like all my work and just everything was
mm,
perfect. My arms just dropped down. I just never recuperated that year. Really, just I
mm,
did some good races, did what I could because I already had the training in me, but I don't know. I think I just was the guy that, I couldn't get through if I just dropped down like that so bad. I just couldn't pull
yeah,
myself. I did good stuff, but it was just different. When
yeah,
motocross, everything has to be good. Your bike has to be good. Your team has to be
yeah,
good. You got to be good.
mm, yeah.
Everything. You can't leave nothing out, to do
No,
championships and be a real champ and do races. It's a teamwork. It's team effort. Everybody has to be looking in the right direction. At least on my part, when what I've seen and what I went through with experience, everything pretty
yeah.
much everybody in the right direction. And here it was like on your own.
Yeah, it's not cool when you don't get what you were promised and stuff, is it?
Yeah, and it happens because
Mm,
these guys they have the stuff, and but their sights are already on other stuff. They're just finishing out, and I just happened to be in the wrong place at the
Yeah.
wrong right time, and just went for it. It all looked good, but then in the end, it wasn't. It's happened to me other times, so it's part of my fault too. I was young and I was doing everything on my own. Learning as
Yeah.
I go by, and I didn't have my dad here, or someone guiding me. Maybe there was somebody, but I was like young and dumb and hard headed. And
Mm.
maybe if there was really someone who was really looking for my good, I wasn't listening. So,
Mm.
it, you know,
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? I've got a few more questions for you. Just a few more before we wrap it up. I really appreciate your time, Bader. Been really enjoyed it. Who would
yeah,
you consider, if I had to push you, who would you consider the three best riders that you've ever competed against in your career?
that I've
Mm.
competed against.
Yeah.
Whew, 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 whew. Well, the thing is I felt like everyone who I've competed against, I had their speed. I can beat them on a given day,
Yeah.
but I didn't have it all together like
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
But there was really strong, like Everett's. He was
Yeah.
strong. He wasn't super fast, but that guy was
Mm.
just strong
Yeah.
everywhere. Just
Consistent.
his legs were strong. So, he wasn't a super. He was just he was a robot. He was a machine.
Yeah. Mm.
So I would say Everett's in my days. Then there
Mm.
was your American guys. They were strong in but I wasn't really competing against them because I left and came to
Mm.
Europe and they stayed there. So the fastest guys in those days were like Ricky Johnson,
Mm.
Ronnie Lachine. They
Mm.
were like really fast guys. I mean,
Mm.
David Bailey.
Mm.
But they were like a little bit before my time. But those guys were just strong and they were fast. They had style. They had class. You know,
Mm.
those kind of guys would stand out. Bob Hanna, but I never raced. I raced with him at that race, which I beat him, but he was already 30 years. He was already on his. I never raced against him on his prime. So
Yeah.
every year's that everybody has their primes, but those years um, in Europe, I felt like I was just as fast as everybody, and in America,
Mm.
I wasn't racing with those guys, and they were a little faster. I would say a little bit faster than me. I would say, yeah. I mean, I was fast, but
Mm.
I was always on a stock bike also. These guys were like full factory bikes. I mean, they
Mm.
had a little bit advantage. They're pure speed, but they also had the good stuff with them. So
Mm.
when everything's together, everything is always better. It compounds.
That's why it was cool as well in the GPs when you were racing against all them guys on the factory bikes and stuff, and you would always show these uh, rides of brilliance, wouldn't you? And beating all these guys, and like you said, they'd come over and check your bike doing that. What's he
Yeah,
got?
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty
That,
cool.
that, that was funny. That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Because I
cool.
remember
That was
like the Honda had a kips, like a little round thing for the valve,
yeah,
and my mechanic made like a little cup with a spacer, and he put it up over that, so it looks like you got an electronic valve or like an extra chamber or something, and it did nothing. It did
that's
nothing. Like
brilliant.
were people sitting there looking and taking pictures and thinking, "What does that do?" It didn't do
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. What's that factory part he's got on there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's brilliant. I like the mind games. That's pretty cool.
yeah,
If you could give any advice to any youngsters out there that racing in youth motocross now, or they're in the youth side of things, but want to go pro, what would your
yeah.
advice be to those guys?
My advice would say, motocross, it's tough, like any sport. Any sport, you really got to, to get where, if you want, if you want to get to where you want to get, first you got to realize, what do you want to do? You just want to race, or you really want to go to the top. And to get to the top, it's not easy. And you really got to really want it. But even if you really want it, you got to think, do you have the possibilities? You got the tracks, you got the time. You know, I would say to a little guy, you got to, love it with your heart and really want it yourself, not because your dad or your friends, everybody's pushing you that you can do it, that you really want that. That's, you just want to eat that bike, sleep with that bike. And from there, you really understand. But even if you really want it, you're not going to make it if you don't have everything else around you. So it's not easy. So if you really want it and you have everybody around you who's going to support it, then I'd say go for it, but throw yourself all into it. But if you really want it, but they can only take you once a week riding, or you can't train on that track and you're going to race on a different track, then you're just going to waste a lot of time. In the other words, if you're just happy riding, happy with what you're doing, and you want to just have fun, just enjoy it. Enjoy it when you can. So you kind of got to get a reality of the situation, but you need people around you to let you see the reality of the situation. Because even fathers, I bought my kid the best bike, I took it to the best suspension guy, freaking I spent $5,000 on the motor, and he's still going like junk. It doesn't make nothing. I always say to the fathers, don't think about the bike. When he's pushing with his feet and trying to pedal that bike and push his weight out of the corner, and you see his wrist wide open, his arm way down because he can't accelerate anymore, that the throttle's being bent, then he's going to need something better. But he's not jumping, he's not doing, and just not using the maximum of the bike. It's kind of getting the reality of the situation. So it's not easy. A lot of people I take him to the track and he should be better, but it's not that way. And then you never know. Even me as a rider, if I see a rider going slow at a certain section of the track, someone else is going faster, it doesn't mean that the guy's better. It's just maybe because he's going at that angle. There's a little tiny rock that you can't see off the track. So you got to be in the guy's shoes who's on the bike to really understand the situation. And a lot of fathers, a lot of people, don't know this, and it just hurts the riders because they try things and they do things that they're not true. It's a false saying. The father says you can go faster there, you can do that faster there, but there's a big old hole that the father doesn't see. And they're like doing everything to try, and they're like wanting to kill themselves, and they can't do it, and it's a big mess. So
and a lot of them motocross dads, they're sort of almost riding through the kids a little bit, aren't they? You gotta be careful.
And it's the best advice I would also give to dads. I love dads. They give all their energy to their kids. That's great. That's awesome. That's who wants a dad more than that? How can you have a dad? But dads, they should step out of the situation kind of because they get into it. Even the most smartest dads, most intelligent, they can lose their, they lose a little screw someone when it's your kid under there. And so I think just kind of step out when you kind of lose a screw and kind of get a hold of the situation. That would be fine, because the kids, they want to have fun. Yeah,
definitely. Kids. What do you think of? You seen any of these? Seen it all about these electric bikes they're talking about? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I haven't really. Oops. No, I haven't really paid attention too much to electric bikes, but shoot, I'm kind of scared of electric bike because they can just have a short. I don't know,
True. We've had electrical problems on normal bikes.
Just electric. Yeah. Then if it's fully electric, it could, you never know. But then it's evolution. So I don't know if they're at that point now, but I like the electric bike, the idea, because less noise. So you'd enjoy more of the pure racing. Now they say, the sound and rah and grunt and stuff. Everybody hates the 4-stroke or 2-stroke sounds a lot better, but I think you got to look to the positive side of electric stuff. Less noise. You can talk to people in the pits. You got to look at maybe all the positive stuff. So there might be a lot of positive stuff. You can race in the center of the town and not disturb the people who want to be disturbed. You can have an awesome race. Everybody going, wow, man, and really just focusing more on what the rider's doing, their jumping and their actions and all that stuff than all the other stuff around. So everything could, if the bike's good and everything's good, everything could be good.
Especially like you said, with a lot of tracks are losing tracks because of the noise and things like that.
The noise, can't. they can't complain about the noise. So at least that,
No.
and then you can race anytime you want. So
Yeah.
you
It's
can
going to go down
ride.
that route, I think. Yeah, it's definitely going to go down that route.
It could be positive.
Yeah.
Everybody have a track behind their house. No one hears you, and then there could be more riders because you can ride more.
True. True. Yeah. It's going to go down that way, I think. What's the future plans then for Bader Manneh?
Now, at the moment, I'm into the fishing rods. Because
Oh.
our little team,
Yeah. Yeah.
the owner, he's really into fishing. So he started a company, and I'm helping him push that into America because he's concentrating on Italy.
Yeah.
And since I'm from America and I speak English, he goes, how about taking up, the job of, promoting in America and selling our stuff and moving it around, out of Italy. So that's what I'm taking care of. So I'm thinking of strategies and, stuff to get the stuff sold out of it's the Ferrari of fishing rods. It's not like your normal
Mm.
fishing rod. These things have been patented worldwide. Like they have
Yep.
rollers on them that flex. They have like suspension. It's like going from motocross in the olden days with no suspension to suspension.
Yeah.
And these
Big
rods
difference.
are all new stuff. So it's
Mm.
pretty cool. It's
Sounds interesting.
exciting. Yeah.
You'll have to share it with us soon on social media and that. We'll check it out.
Yeah. There's some stuff on my social media. It's called AB1 Tackle.
Maybe one
But
day.
I put a little video out with how the roller flexes and stuff like that. But you have to know about fishing and being a fishing to
Yeah.
understand. They're like, what's that?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I never was into fishing. I'm really not into fishing, but I'm starting to get into it.
Just
So.
before we go, look, Anders has just come on to say, "Hey, Bader."
Oh, hi
Lundgren here.
Andy.
Look. Here he
Big
goes.
hi. Thanks for taking me away from home for 30 years.
Yeah. He's still in Italy now.
Thanks for making me a pasta man.
Oh, look, Peter's just put gutted. I was going to ask him about fishing.
Peter.
I was going to. He goes, I'm gutted. I was going to
I
ask
was
him about
going
the
to ask
fishing.
him about fishing. Yeah, I'm starting to get into fishing. I want to get into it because if I'm selling it, I want to know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you got to
But
know. Yeah,
I know about the rods, and they're awesome, and all the people who use them. So I hear their feedback, and these rods they're different. There's something else. So I'm really excited to push them and stuff. So it's like going from no suspension to suspension on motocross bikes. So
sounds trick. Factory, as we called it, Bader.
yeah,
Factory.
look it up. AB1.
AB1.
Yeah, AB1 Tackle, and it's
Yep.
all over Instagram, Facebook, and stuff. But you can
So
see the
you're involved with that,
products.
yeah.
Yeah, everything. It's like the Ferrari of fishing. Everything's like made in Italy, carbon fiber, titanium, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a new company. So it's not going to be easy because everything costs a lot more. Like 3 times more than your normal rod. But it's for somebody who wants something different. Yeah. So it's.
Anders has put he's put Mr. Whole Shot and he's put nice to see you, my pleasure.
Yeah, Anders, we go back a long. I haven't seen you in a long time, but yeah, we had fun together. It was cool. And
I
Anders,
really appreciate.
he was a cool guy. I mean, he was, from Sweden, but he
Yeah,
had a lot of knowledge. Shit,
yeah,
when I came here, he was a lot of knowledge. He knew all the riders. He knew everything.
yeah,
He wasn't like the guy that didn't know anything. He knew every rider, studied every rider, so he was really good, really educational.
yeah. He's still into all of it now, aren't you? You see him on Facebook with all his bikes and everything, and
Yeah,
all the Evo bikes. It's really cool. Really
yeah.
cool. Really appreciate your time, Bader.
Okay.
Absolute legend you are. Really enjoyed it, mate. Much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you too for letting me share, and thanks everyone for listening. And show must go
Pleasure's
on.
all. Yes, pleasure's all mine. I really appreciate it. Thanks ever so much,
You're
Bader.
welcome. Take care.
I'll keep in
Bye bye.
touch. Thanks, mate. Take it easy.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Easy. Bye bye.
Bye. What a legend, Bader Manneh. Enjoyed that. I will share this out. I know a lot of you guys are all out and about now. We're all out of lockdown and we're all out there. You're allowed in your pub gardens and all that. Thanks, Peter. I'll share this out there from tomorrow, and loads of you guys that I know wouldn't have seen it tonight, that you can all check it all out. So when I share it out there, any of you guys want to share the post out there, I'll tag Bader in and stuff like that as well, so we get it out there and everyone can check that out. It was really interesting, nearly a good couple of hours of Bader. Really interesting to hear about his career and the insights. And he also let us know a bit of an exclusive there on that pole position that wasn't. A little bit of, well, he didn't purposely cut the track. He was just not going to ride the whole track, but he went back through and it gave him pole position. That's brilliant. That's classic. But he actually did go on to win one of them races, so that was pretty cool. So he sort of kept his end of the bargain there after doing that. But thanks for everyone that did come on tonight live. Appreciate that. I'll speak to you all soon. Keep you all updated on what I'm doing. Some more interviews. Doing Sudden Samer Malenko himself this Thursday night, 7 p.m. UK time live. Proper Speedway legend. He's actually on my actual logo as well. Motocross and Speedway Memories. I'll show you there on my pad here. Look, Mr. Samer Malenko is on the front there. That's him. On the front there with Mr. Everts. That's Samer Malenko himself there. Look. So he'll be with me hopefully Thursday night, but I will update you on that. I'll get hold of Sam and just check it's all good and get back to you all. I will leave you with my dad's quote that he always used to say to me, bless him, in his later years. He's the old boy. Yeah, Swindon Robbins. He used to say to me, it's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. See you all soon, people. Good night and God bless. Ciao Bella. Cheers.